In this lesson, we will talk about live chatting, which is the most effective and powerful tool to offer assistance to your customers. Can you imagine having in your e-commerce a sort of vendor that remains standing in the corner of the store without annoying the customers that are browsing the shelves, but always ready in case one of them needs help in real time? In many usability tests, the analysed users valued the presence of a chat in the e-commerce that they visited, and almost all of them, in case of doubts or questions, used the chat and preferred it instead of other available contact ways. The company LiveChat Inc. recently made a global survey on how live chatting affects American companies. Only in the United States, almost a third of all companies offer live chatting, obtaining more than 90% of total customer satisfaction on that channel, much more than the one obtained in hotline assistance or emails. These are important stats that shouldn't be overlooked. Nevertheless, usability studies have highlighted some critical aspects on chat that, for example, often, 1, were difficult to locate, which is why during the tests users could not find the chat service within the e-commerce easily. 2, had a complicated and unusable interface, and consequently it was difficult for users to use or understand. 3, and finally, chat often turned out to be frustrating for the user because of the time that they had to wait or because of the operators that gave wrong or superficial information. Live chat has to be, first of all, be present in each page of the store so that the user can easily access it independent of what page that they are on, and to be easily identifiable, recognizable without turning invasive, hence not bothering the page query of the user. The live chat option is commonly placed on the lower right-hand side of the page and is identified by the label Live Chat. As you can see on the page of Zendesk, that has this blue button on the top right part. And when clicking on it, it opens a window to start chatting with an agent. This one, we'd say, that is the predetermined location of the chatting window. It is this location that we find the chat option on many websites, for which, to the majority of users, it now seems obvious to be there, and have it on hand regardless of the page they are on. And this is obviously a positive thing. You can also add references that guide the user to live chat in other spots of your website. For example, it could be useful to insert a link that opens the chat window in your customer service page, as we can see in the web page of IKEA. In the general customer service assistant page of IKEA, we find this text that informs the user that chat service is available every day from 8 till 10, and a button that starts a chat with the operator. You can also insert a button or link that opens the chat in the header on the top part of your web page, as Oriental Trading does, for example. That here, on the top right part, next to the telephone number, has added a link to live chat. When clicking on the link, the classic modal window opens and the user can talk with an operator. A common error in many pages is hiding the chat service instead of highlighting it, almost as if they wanted to dissuade the user from using it. We see, for example, the page of Beeper Bank. The bank offers a chat service, but unfortunately when the user gets to the home page, he can't find any chat reference. The user that gets in this web page and needs help will start checking the page, looking for related information, and finally will find this link, Talk with Us. He has to click and he gets to this page. From here, it is necessary to click for a second time on the live chat part. Then this section opens that invites the customer to use the chat service. The text says, "Do you wish to contact us here and now?" Enter in the chat found here and in the pages of the web. The first impression that I get is that the text should contain a link, maybe in the phrase "found here," which makes me open the chat, but in reality This is a simple text and does not contain links. There are no buttons to start a chat, nor a different graphic element that can make me understand where to find the chat in this area. Finally, I accidentally passed the mouse over here, and I noticed that the cursor has changed and transformed into a hand. Therefore, I understand that by clicking on what to me seems a simple title, the chatting window opens. A similar example is the one of Trustico page, that over here, on the links counter of the customer care service and contact page, a component of live chat is inserted with a representative icon. And when I click on this element, I expect that chat will open in a new page maybe. But in reality, I get to a general page of information about live chat service that invites me to use live chat, but does not explain where to find it or how to use it. Another web page, another error. If we enter in the web page of GoldBet, we find this message that informs us that live chat is available only after logging in. This is very frustrating and means that the user has to sign up or log in before being able to talk to an operator and receive assistance. And if we try using the live chat in the web page of glasses.com, if I click on the live chat button below, here and to the left, and enter my information and a message to request assistance, I get redirected to this page, and after a few seconds I get disconnected from chat without any warning, because there are no available agents, and in fact I'm not able to do anything, not even leave a message to customer service. So to sum up, in your e-commerce you need to insert the link or button that opens the chat window in a visible area of the page, and possibly make sure that chat is available in every page of the website, without your customers having to waste time looking for it. Therefore, make sure that the chat has a simple interface to understand and that it explains to the user what is happening or how to get assistance. If I try to open the chat service in the website of Bet365, a window opens in the middle of the screen, and during the first 18 seconds you cannot take any action until an operator enters into the chat. A user that tries to write something or clicks on any spot and does not receive comments, up to this period of time he might think it's a technical error or that he did something wrong and then close the chat. The window should show a message inviting the user to wait for the availability of an operator, thanking him for his patience and/or offer an apology for waiting. An effective chat service has to request a small amount of information from the user in a way that access is simple and immediate. The live chat page of Samsung asks the user to fill in a great amount of information in the form of a complex contact form. In fact, the opening of live chat should be fast and require only an email address and a message field. All additional information can be requested from the operator later on, once the communication with the customer has been activated. When I open the live chat window in the page of EasyJet, the form asks me for the booking number, almost as if it's not considered the possibility that a chat service can also be used from users that haven't made their booking yet. And in fact, to ask for that type of information can be limiting and frustrating and make the user leave the page. In the page of data tricks, we find a positive chat example that offers the user simple and immediate access. As a matter of fact, if I click on this blue icon on the top of the page, the chat screen opens and it does not ask me for personal information. I don't even have to enter a name or email address, since I can directly write my message, and chat confirms that this operator, Boyan, will respond in a few minutes. The available chat of SiteGround page is simple and effective as well. It only asks from the user the essential information to start a chat with a support agent, which makes it easier and faster. Once the information has been entered, on the following screen I see a message which tells me that an operator will contact me soon, and they also give me a contact alternative in case there's no available operator. a toll-free number that I can call. Okay, I'm now connected to Vladislav. Another positive aspect of this chat is the operator's profile. That is identified by a photo, a name and a profile. The positive aspect of chat service is, without a doubt, the possibility of finding, in the middle of a virtual and impersonal purchasing process, the reassuring presence of a real person that can accompany us while purchasing or help us find the answers that we're looking for. In many chats, we find ourselves talking to profiles with names such as Operator 314, with anonymous avatars, or the classic image of a woman smiling facing a computer, which is downloaded from a database of photos. Whereas in SiteGround, we talk to this guy, Vladislav. We can see how he looks, what his role is in the company, how many customers he has already helped, and his rating. The impact is certainly a positive one. Another aspect that should not be overlooked when offering an effective chat is to give users enough time to respond before closing the chat. It's really frustrating coming back to the chat screen a few seconds or minutes later and find the conversation closed from the operator or the system without any possibility of interacting again with the same customer service agent, except through a new chat with a different person and then having to explain the whole situation again. I tried many chat services while recording this course, and in almost every case, after a few minutes without interacting with the agent, chat closed and I no longer had the opportunity to talk to those who offered me assistance. For instance, in the chat of Bet365 that we were analysing a little while ago, I am now found with this window deactivated. The chat has closed and I no longer have the opportunity to open it, and so I have to close the window, open a new chat, enter all my information again, and then I will probably have to talk to a different operator. Therefore, avoid the automatic interruption when closing the conversation after a brief moment of your customer's inactivity. Maybe he just went to the bathroom or he's checking the products on your website. Make sure that the operators close the chat when they consider it suitable, avoiding this way the system's automatic closing after only a few minutes of inactivity. And if possible, choosing a live chatting software that first allows the user to reopen chat if it has been automatically closed by the system or the operator by simply typing a new message on the window, which will let him begin a new chat without closing the previous window, opening a new one, entering personal information all over again, and so on. For instance, in the chat we have in Yith, if I talk with an agent and the chat is closed, I can write again on the same window and I'll be put again in contact with the first available support agent. And second, select a chat that allows agents to see previous chats made from the same user, in a way that if the user reopens chat an hour later and is found talking to a different operator, he can analyse the previous conversation without having to ask the customer to explain what he needs or the problem that he's facing again. It's also important to offer a contact alternative in the case that chat service is not available. Ryanair's live chat, for example, informs me that chat service is busy or closed or that there are no agents available. It also invites me to leave a message, but in fact the page does not give me the opportunity of doing so and does not give me an alternative to contact customer service either. The best option is to offer the user the possibility of completing a form, as if it were a contact form, which allows him to explain what he wants. The people responsible for customer service will have to contact him again to offer him assistance when they are available. Last advice on live chat. In several usability tests, users have highlighted the necessity of monitoring the conversation that they've had in chat, since it may contain some information that could be useful for them in the future. For this reason, once chat has been completed, the user can receive a chat transcript to his email. For instance, Braun's live chat, once the conversation is completed with the agent, it gives me the opportunity to request a copy of the chat and ask me if I'm sure I wish to close the conversation. We've arrived at the end of this course dedicated to live chat. It truly is a powerful tool that you can use to improve the user's experience and offer a more complete assistant service, and also use as a sales tool, helping your customers during the selection process and purchase of your products. See you in the next lesson.